get started with setting up data ingestion file, I already created data ingestion file in a component folder in src folder. First of all, we need to import all of the necessary libraries like import OS, import sys from src.exception. We already created this one ourselves. Import custom exception for handling the exception from src. Import logging for handling the logging, and from scikit-learn and model selection import train test split to split our data set to train and test, and import pandas as PD to work with our data set as a data frame, and from data classes import data class. Now I'm going to create a new class and I call it data ingestion config, and I'm going to use this decorative data class and add these 3 parameters for train data underscore pad, and it's going to be a string equal to os.pad for this folder artifacts, and I would like to put a name like train.csv for our train set, and the same for test set. I need to change it to the test set and test CSV file, and again for the raw data that I initially read the data as a CSV at first place. Okay, after this I'm going to create another class and I call it data ingestion class. Let's define the constructor, define underscore init. Let's say self dot a new property called, for example, data ingestion conf, and this property is gonna be an instance of this class that I already created. Then I'm going to create a new function. In this function, I'm saying initiate data ingestion. In this function, I'm going to read the dataset CSV file, and I put it in the try exception in this part. I'm going to read the data set, so df data frame equal to pd4 panda read CSV file from the location of this one. I already uploaded the data set in this project and I just need to copy the path and put it here. After reading the data set, which is a CSV file, I need to create a directory, os.make directory for this path, self.data ingestion config. This is the property in our class, which is instance of this class. So it has a variable called test.pad. I'm saying that os.pad dot directory name for this one, saying that if exists already, if it's true, keep it, otherwise create it. And then After reading and creating the directory, I'm going to split the data for train and test. So let's say test underscore set and train underscore set is equal to train split for that data frame that I already read it from the CSV file, and the train size going to be 20%. So I'm saying 0.2, and random stat gonna be to 2 in this case. Then after this, data has been split in two sets. Now I'm going to put the data as a test and train in this location for the CSV file that I already defined there. Let's say test set.toCSV, and for this location self dot, this is that property of the class which is instance of the upper class, so it has this test and data path. I'm saying that index is false and header is true. Then for the train set as well, I'm saying the same to CSV for this location self dot this property of the class, and for the train index is false, header is true. Okay, then I'm going to return these two train pad and test pad. Return self dot this one and test pad, and also self dot this one for train. Okay, and for the exception, I'm saying that exception as E, and custom exception, I need to pass this exception and sys. We already created this method. Now let's add some log to my file. For example, logging.info, and saying entered a data ingestion. Then once I read the data, I'm saying that login.info and read the data or CSV file. After this, I'm saying log.info data splitting to train and test, and that's pretty much this one. If I want to give it a try, I would be able to say if underscore name is equal to underscore main underscore, and then create an object of my class data ingestion, and define this test underscore set and train underscore set equal to this object of the class and this function of the class, initiate data ingestion. Now let's give it a try. Python RC, this is the main folder, and component and data ingestion .py. Okay, let's check. Yes, our artifact has been created here, and data, test, and train. And for the log file, this is a new log file has been created for me. As you can see, all of the logs that I put in the code has been inserted in the log file for today. Now let's add the codes to the GitHub as well. Git add dot, and then git commit -m, and this is for data ingestion. Okay, then git push -u from origin to main. Let's check the GitHub. And this is the project. Artifact has been created, component, data ingestion, and this is the code for data ingestion that we recently created. Everything is here. Perfect.